What's up, good people? Precious S. Carter here. Look, I'm just gonna share with you a quick story on why I think having vision and establishing boundaries is so important. I always tell you, like, if you don't have a vision that is aligned with who you are, your roles and responsibilities in life, then you can, like, you'll end up going anywhere. Quick fact, I just, for the first time, don't know why, I looked up what okay, in Proverbs 28 and 19, it says, without vision, the people perish. So I looked up perish for whatever reason for the first time, and it says, uh, let go, ignore, avoid, neglect, show a lack of discipline, or lose restraint. So basically, it's saying without vision, the people let go. Without vision, the people ignore. Without vision, the people avoid. Without vision, the people neglect. Without vision, the people lose restraint. So basically, you're showing a lack of discipline in your life, which we know is a fruit of the spirit, and which we know when you don't have discipline in your life, you don't have success in anything in your life. You find yourself living in the same cycles year after 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 year, blaming other people for the non-progress that you've made in your life, because not making a choice is a choice. But anyway, if you don't have vision and then boundaries. So when I talk to you guys about forgiveness, I always share um, how once you forgive, it is important that, like, literally you let them out of bondage and you let yourself out of bondage, but also that you protect your peace, because the enemy is going to try to come to revisit those things to you. And if you're not careful, it will get you back locked up into that cycle of unforgiveness and bitterness. And so just imagine having tried to forgive someone, not establish boundaries. I told you the story very recently, if you're in my Facebook group, but it's definitely down in one of these videos somewhere, um, about, a family member of mine who I struggled with unforgiveness with for a very, very long time. And even after I forgave, the same behaviors continued over and over. And I shared with you about how I was in the grocery store acting a plum fool because I had allowed my um, emotions to be triggered. Then I told you how I created a very strong boundary around me and my god sister, and what we could communicate about in regards to that specific person. Well, imagine I hadn't created those boundaries, and um, here we are, probably 12 years later. If this happened today, and the only reason that it came up to me is because I've been talking to people about why I create my vision. And of course, when I create my vision, I create boundaries around it so that I can make sure, boundaries for others and limits for myself. So imagine you getting yet another call 12 years after you fought to forgive and to teach on forgiveness because you understood the difference in your life. But imagine not having boundaries and people continue to bring the same thing up to you over and over again because they just haven't gotten to that place in their life where, um, I don't know, whether they don't guard their peace in the same way I do, or they really think that it is their responsibility to walk somebody else's healing process out for them. Either way, if you don't create a clear vision for your life, what you will be responsible for and what you won't be, what you will do, what you won't do, what you will align yourself with and what you won't, and the boundaries to kind of support that, then you'll find yourself having the same conversation, going around the same mountain for years and years and years. Just like the children of Israel did, when you can just align yourself, have the hard conversations, and move on. So you don't have to get sucked back in. A lot of times, what happens is when people are constantly trying to use the word reconciliation in relationships, they don't understand that, number one, the reconciliation that the Bible talks about is a reconciliation to Christ, not to you. We are ambassadors for the kingdom of heaven. We should not be trying to reconcile anybody to us. We should be trying to reconcile them to the Father and to the will of the Father. But number two, people also have not developed the ability to understand that Jesus said, who is my Father and who is my mother? If they're not in alignment with the direction that God has me going in, let the dead bury the dead. And that does not sound friendly. It doesn't sound good. It didn't sound good when Jesus said it, but he said it. He said what he said. And he said it for a reason, because what I've learned is that people continue to carry dead weight when you have to carry the weight of the assignment that God called you to do. You are not anybody else's God. I am not anybody else's God. And it's not my responsibility to walk out their process for them. It's not my responsibility to keep engaging and trying to fill a void in their life, or have them fill a void in my life that can only be filled by Jesus Christ, and trying to comfort them in a way, or comfort myself in a way, that only Holy Spirit can. So this just came to mind, and I thought I would share it with you. I love you, and there's nothing that you can do about it.